Fat boy feels.
Fat boy feels. Fat boy feels.
Like an asshole. So a week or two ago, I did a whole lot of complaining about the Institute. And I know you're sick of hearing about the Institute and all these uppity Negroes. But let me just say, I have to eat some humble pie on them. Even for calling them uppity Negroes, because while there are a few, not all of them are. I shared some of my thoughts with one of my closest Institute brothers, and he checked me. I had to just sit there and take it. I talked a lot of shit, and I did a lot of complaining, but I hadn't given the Institute a chance to prove itself, to right itself. I had been avoiding going back. And going back 3 weeks ago was my first time being around them in a decade. How could things be perfect after so long? And maybe if I came back round 2 or round 3, it would be better. And if I were to make my choice to leave or to make judgment after round 2 or round 3 of me integrating with them, then I could really make that decision with a solid amount of evidence. But right now, I'm going off of assumptions, I'm going off of emotion, and I'm going off of self-defense mechanism. And he's right, I am. And so firstly, I want to apologize to my Institute brothers. I want to apologize to Dr. Keys. And rather than just talk shit, I need to figure out a way to be better and do better. But this whole process made me think about something. While I was talking to my brother, I referenced my father and how he walked out on me and my mother. And as a result of that, I've had these walls, these mechanisms that are just ingrained in the fiber of my being, where if I let someone in, and they're truly a part of my inner circle, and I care about them and I open up to them, and if I feel like they betrayed me or abandoned me, then typically the walls goes up. And if that person tries to re-enter, I don't allow them, and that wall prevents me from re-entering their life with them. And that's a pattern I've noticed with a few friends, an organization or two, and it's something I need to work on. The father shit hit deep. So I don't exactly know how to process that, because you're talking about something that goes back to super triggering moment that altered the entire course of my life. So while I process that shit, I'm gonna cook. In today's episode, we're gonna cook some pasta, because it's a pasta type of day. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make this shit low carb and healthy-ish by making spaghetti squash, chicken and shrimp scampi. Now, shrimp, like we said, is like bacon. Because of the cholesterol levels, you only wanna eat it once a month, maybe twice a month, and you wanna make sure that you're not overloading it with a lot of cholesterol and fat-heavy sauces. So in order for us to lower our carb count and to lower our cholesterol levels, we're gonna change up some ingredients. We're gonna do a vegan parmesan, vegan butter, and spaghetti squash in place of traditional pasta. So this, my friends, is spaghetti squash. It's a gourd. It looks like a melon, to be honest. You'll find it at your local grocery store. Now, when you cut it open, it's gonna be similar to a melon or a pumpkin. There's gonna be a whole lot of seeds and stuff. You just have to scrape and hollow it out like so, and it'll look like this. Now, you can't really see it, but the strands in here, once this is cooked, turns into a crunchy spaghetti type texture. To cook this, what we're gonna do is hollow this out, spread around some EVOO inside, and then we're gonna sprinkle my seasoning mix in the center here. Now, this seasoning mix is going to have a little bit of granulated garlic, paprika, salt, pepper, and onion powder. This recipe is supposed to have shallot, but I'm human and I forgot the shallot. What I'm gonna do is up our green onion that was originally supposed to be our garnish. I'm just gonna up that a bit to give it some of that tannic crunch. And then I'm gonna add some onion powder to this to give it that oniony vibe. It's not a full replacement of shallot, but it's close enough. All right, let's get cooking. All right, so we have baked our spaghetti squash on 350 for about 35 to 45 minutes, depending on your oven. Just be mindful. Inside, it's gonna scoop out like the spaghetti, as I said before. As you can see, some of the spices have really cooked. My hope is that flavor has helped absorb into the top layer of the spaghetti. And as we spin this around in our bowl, they'll all mix in really well. This squash will be hot for about an hour to 2 hours after you pull out of the oven, so please, please, please be careful when handling it. So that we've scooped it out. Now I'm just gonna transfer it into the bowl safely without burning myself. You can see that steam popping off. Now I'm just gonna stir it up a bit. And that's it. It's saucy time. I freaking love Scampi sauce, but what I've found with a lot of recipes and at a lot of restaurants is the sauce is bland and doesn't have much flavor or depth. There's no nuance, right? Whenever you cook something with a sauce, you want that sauce to take you on a journey. And so that's what I'm gonna try to do with this Scampi sauce. If I fail, I'm sorry. Feel free to shit on me in the comments. So for our Scampi sauce, I'm gonna start off with these ingredients. Got a little garlic. Once again, there should be shallot, but it's not here. We have my spice blend, which is gonna be, once again, paprika, red chili flake, with granulated garlic, onion powder, salt, and pepper. Here we've got our herb blend. This is going to be parsley, oregano, and just a touch of basil. Here we have our vegan Parmesan cheese and our vegan butter, a little bit of EVOO, lemon juice, and lemon zest. Finally, some 3-butt chuck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start off with a little bit of EVOO. We're going to saute our garlic and our shallot. We're then gonna add just a touch of butter, the wine, the zest, and then the rest of these ingredients. And I'm gonna add a secret ingredient, which is up here. I'm gonna add spinach. Why? Because I like adding grains to the mix, but this is an optional thing. I would say cook it and then drain it and then add it to your dish, which is what we're gonna do. All right, let's get started. Let the pan heat up. Oh yeah, we sizzling, baby. All right, and now we're gonna bring this to a boil. All right, everyone, we have all of our ingredients to finally make this healthy chicken and shrimp scampi. So we have our spaghetti squash here. It's been cooked. One note, after your spaghetti squash is cooked, it's probably gonna cool off a little bit really quickly. What I did was after I sauteed my shrimp in the pan, I went back and I just added some spaghetti squash into that pan with some of the goodness of the shrimp just to absorb some of those flavors. What we have here is our scampi sauce that we made on the stove. We've got some parsley, some lemon juice, and some green onions for our garnish and finish. And then we have our shrimp and we have our chicken. Both our shrimp and our chicken have the same seasoning blend that we have for the spaghetti squash. I want all these flavors to just combine and come together. All right, so let's build this baby. So here we are, the finished product, the chicken and shrimp spaghetti squash scampi. This is probably my best plating yet. We're getting better at it, so once again, if you know somebody out there who's really good at plating, holla at your boy in the comments section because I need to get better. Shout out to Robert Irvine. Do you think this is something that might be like menu worthy at a restaurant? Let me know, brother. So really quickly, I just want to wrap this up. I did a lot of thinking while I was cooking and thought about my dad. When he left, it was a betrayal. One of the ultimate betrayals. And it wasn't that he just left, he left violently. And it caused a shit ton of damage in my heart. I've hardened my heart in many ways with many people. And it softens for my inner circle, but it hardens for people outside of it. And people outside of that circle don't get much leeway. And I found that it's opened me up to bitterness and pettiness, to impatience. I don't want to live life that way. I'm not saying I'm gonna change overnight, but it's something that I want to work toward, that I want to be better at. I want people, no matter where they're at in my concentric circles, to feel like when they talk to me, they're talking to someone who's open and honest and who gives them a chance. And more importantly, gives them a chance to fuck up. Because everyone fucks up. I feel like as long as there isn't like a malice or intent to harm, that person deserves a chance to be in the inner circle. People deserve second chances. Hell, I am asking for a second chance. So who am I to prevent it? So this is me, instead of talking shit, offering a solution. How about this? How about I work with a small number of my Institute brothers and figure out a way where we can come up with programming or a listserv or a Facebook group for our younger brothers or our older brothers, for all of our brothers, to have a platform no matter where they're at in their stage in the Institute to open up about what it means to be Black and excellent and the pressures that come with it. Some place where we can be safe, to not talk about our accolades and achievements and titles, but to talk about the fucking grind, the mental turmoil, all the bullshit that comes with trying to achieve these great heights that we're achieving. I'm gonna do better. I promise I'll do better. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I'm really excited for this dish and for this new self-discovery. I ask you please like, share, and subscribe with all your friends. And please check us out on all of our social media platforms at Fat Boy Feels. Appreciate y'all. Have a good week. We out.